Imagine a business so ruthless it didn't just sell goods, it conquered nations, controlled armies, and stole a fortune. This wasn't Hollywood, it was the East India Company, and India was their prize. Did you know that in the 1700s, India was responsible for a quarter of the world's total economic output? That's more than all of Europe combined. So, why did this incredible wealth suddenly vanish, leaving a nation fractured and its economy devastated? This isn't just history. This is the original global financial scandal, and it reveals the blueprint for how a country can be systematically deindustrialized and financially broken. Over the next few weeks, we're going to use real economic data and historical accounts to answer three simple, yet profound questions. First, how do you financially conquer a continent using a corporate ledger, not just a military sword? Second, how much exactly was taken? And the biggest what if? What would India's economy and the world's look like today if that wealth had stayed? We're uncovering the financial strategies that led to the single largest wealth transfer in human history. Welcome to Brain Blink. Let's dive into part 1, the Lure of Bengal Gold. The EIC was born in 1600, a group of wealthy London investors who got a royal charter. Their goal was simple: make insane money. They weren't soldiers. They were traders whose mission was to capitalize on India's unmatched production of cotton, silks, and spices. But the British had a massive financial problem. To buy these high-quality Indian goods, they had almost nothing India wanted in return. So for over a century, they were forced to pay in pure gold and silver bullion. This created a huge negative trade balance for Britain, draining their national treasury. The EIC realized their first financial challenge wasn't competition. It was fixing their massive trade deficit. They concluded the only way to make a real, sustainable profit wasn't to trade, but to stop paying altogether. They gained their first armed foothold in places like Surat, 1612, by exploiting Mughal political chaos, offering military help to local rulers in exchange for tax-free trade, a massive financial advantage over local Indian businessmen. Their early strategy was commercial sabotage. The richest prize was Bengal. This province was the financial heart of India. The EIC knew if they controlled Bengal, they controlled the flow of world trade. This leads us to the Battle of Plassey in 1757. This battle is not a military legend. It's a corporate crime story. Robert Clive didn't win through superior generalship. He bought the Nawab's army commander, Mir Jafar. The payment was a massive sum in cash, plus exclusive trade rights. The EIC literally purchased political control of the richest region on Earth. After securing political power, they made their defining financial move in 1765. They were granted the Diwani, the right to collect all the taxes and revenue in Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. This is the game changer. The EIC instantly flipped its balance sheet. They no longer had to ship gold from London to buy Indian goods. They used the taxes collected from Indian peasants to fund the purchase of goods, which they then shipped to Europe. This created a mechanism of pure financial extraction. India was now forced to pay for the privilege of being looted. To ensure maximum guaranteed tax revenue, the EIC created a brutal new land tax system, the Permanent Settlement, 1793. This system fixed land tax incredibly high and demanded it be paid on time, often in cash, even in times of drought. This created a ruthless new class of landlords, zamindars, and plunged millions of farmers into perpetual debt, guaranteeing a relentless, high-volume cash flow to London. It was a machine of debt and extraction. The ultimate test of this system came in the Great Bengal Famine of 1770. As the EIC focused purely on tax revenue and cash crops, they neglected food security. The famine killed an estimated 10 million people, 1/3 of Bengal's population. The EIC's response was not relief. They raised land taxes to compensate for the lost revenue from the deceased. This is the most shocking financial truth. A human catastrophe was simply a temporary revenue management problem to be solved by increasing pressure on the remaining population. The company's profits barely dipped. This system didn't just enrich shareholders in London. It directly funded the Napoleonic Wars and fueled the British Industrial Revolution, turning Indian wealth directly into British global power. Corporate invasion succeeded through greed, bribery, and the financial brilliance of the Diwani. They found a way to not just trade, but to monetize sovereignty. They learned how to collect money. Next, they perfected the art of destruction. If you think tax collection was brutal, wait until you see how they dismantled India's world-leading textile and steel industries, turning creators into consumers. Next week in Part 2, we uncover the Grand Heist, how Britain broke India's supply chain. Don't miss the financial strategies that ruined a continent. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next chapter.